My name's Austin Driskell, and I chose the topic about who truly started baseball. Do you really know how baseball came about? People have been discussing this very topic for over 250 years. Now that's a long time. Baseball in America has been around for quite some time. It actually goes back to over 200 years or more that we even know of today. Most young men have been involved in baseball in some point of their life, either as a young child or in high school. Baseball is truly an American sport that has even branched off and been made into a new sport called softball for girls to play. Many people believe that a young man named Abner Doubleday invented the game known as baseball in Cooperstown, New York, during the summer of 1839. This is a myth and has been proven by historians to be untrue in 1943. From 1893 to 1943, there have been a debate on this very issue. The truth is, there are no written records that have ever surfaced to verify this conclusion. But there is plenty of evidence that contradicts Abner Doubleday inventing our American sport of baseball. For one thing, Doubleday wasn't even in Cooperstown in 1839. He was enrolled at West Point Military School. Doubleday himself never made any claims to inventing this sport, and baseball historians have pretty much debunked the myth. In 1905, a man named Spaulding called from an investigation into how this sport was invented. Spaulding introduced the commission to decide between the American game of Old Cat and the Rounders as baseball's predecessors. Spaulding chose the committee's members by picking 7 men who supported his theory and excluded supporters of the rounded claim. The committee reached out for information on how baseball was created, asking for any records or details from the public. It received numerous letters, primarily from former players and family members of the players who had passed on but had pictures or memorabilia. Many of the details they have provided pertain to early variations of baseball, but evidence supporting Spaulding's theory was lacking. Because of Mr. Abner Spaulding's dedication to finding out the truth, news came about of Mr. Alexander Cartwright actually being one of the first to play and show others how to play the sport of baseball in 1835. Mr. Alexander Alec Cartwright was a founder member of the New York Knickerbockers baseball in the 1840s. On April 1st, 1905, the Akron Beacon newspaper published an article by Spaulding that asked for details on the beginnings of the game to be sent to Amateur Athletic Union President James Sullivan, who is responsible for compiling information and presenting it to the commission. Spaulding refused to hear any more about Abner Doubleday being the inventor of baseball. After the myth of Abner Doubleday having invented baseball in Cooperstown in 1839 was corrected and debunked, Mr. Cartwright was finally inducted into the Hall of Fame as a pioneering contributor. This happened 46 years after his passing. It has been stated that Mr. Cartwright was officially declared the inventor of the modern game of baseball by the early 83rd United States Congress on June 1953. In the Congressional Record, the House Journal, and also the Senate Journal. New York City librarian Robert W. Henderson documented Cartwright's contributions to baseball in his 1947 book, Bat, Ball, and Bishop. Since then, we have known Mr. Cartwright as father of baseball to this day, and thank him for his importance of his role in the development of the game baseball. Because of these men who started playing with a small ball and a stick and created a club for those to play baseball, and we now have an American favorite sport, baseball.